year. Part of the deficit that the comptroller was talking about in the current biennium of $4.3 billion, $1.2 billion of that is as a result of the margins tax underperforming what we predicted. And here's the reality. None of us were elected to go out and raise taxes on anybody. But the margin tax is different, because if we don't fix the margins tax, at least change the trajectory of the margins tax, then school property taxes will go up for sure. And so when we're balancing this budget in the areas of public education, we have got to work on that issue of target revenue and fix it, and we have got to work with our colleagues in the House to fix the margins tax if we want to keep property taxes as low as they currently are. Last thing I'd like to share with you is my concerns about border security. Big issue in the campaign. The governor's already brought up an aspect of that. I decided during the campaign that I didn't really know what I was talking about. So I got on the plane, and I went to Del Rio, and I went to Laredo, and I'm going to go to El Paso, and I went to McAllen. And I spent a good week along the border, and I came back more alarmed than before I left. I believe that this issue is a national security issue. I believe that Mexico could fail as a country because of the war that's going on in northern Mexico, which is spilling across the river into Texas. Mexico is our largest trading partner. The United States runs the biggest trade surplus with Mexico than any other country in the world. The biggest trade surplus. If the Mexican economy collapses because of this drug war, the Texas economy will suffer. And the human cost is going to be bigger than that. And the refugees and the people that are basically seeking political asylum in this country because Mexico is no longer governable could overwhelm us. And so we've got to petition the federal government for help, because I believe if it was not so easy to import drugs into the United States across the Rio Grande River, there probably wouldn't even be anything to fight for in northern Mexico, and the war could be won. So we've got to do our part. And one of the things that we should do is put border inspection stations for all vehicles going from the United States into Mexico. I think we have 27 ports of entry. Obviously, there's a lot of people checking you when you're going north, but there's not a 24-hour presence checking you going south. And what's going on in our drug war is that drugs are coming in the United States, and stolen cars are leaving, and stolen guns are leaving, and millions of dollars of cash is leaving. I was in Laredo, and I asked Senator Zaffarini, got any trouble with car theft down here? She laughed. The room, I said, how many people had your car stolen? 2/3 of the people in Laredo, Texas, in that room raised their hand and said, my car's been stolen down here. Where are they going? They're going to Mexico. But we, as members of this legislature, need to think and work to secure our border. It is a national security issue. It is a state security issue, and none of us can afford to have Mexico fail as a country because Mexico loses its war along the border. Enough preaching. Thank you for this honor. I will do my very best to fulfill the duties that I have just sworn to undertake. And I ask every one of my fellow senators to check your political considerations and your political ambition at the door. And let's work. And let's do our very best for the 25 million people that call Texas home. Thank you.